Hello everybody, today we're back with CF1 2018 career mode here for the Silverstone, the British Grand Prix in season number 3 with the Force India team. It's gonna be clear all the way throughout qualifying and throughout race. So of course Silverstone in the rain is it's chaos. Like there's a lot of high speed corners. You're probably gonna spin out anyways and through every single high speed corners. We'll have to choose a rival because our rivalry we lost our rivalry against Daniel Ricciardo. We're gonna choose Fernando Alonso because I feel like Daniel Ricciardo's kind of pulling out on the top of the table. It's insanely much. You can see there, we make a huge, we kind of plateau. We made a huge step last time around through Austria, where we of course DNF'd after just a couple of laps. By the way, check that one out if you haven't done that yet. Still, Red Bull kind of making an upgrade as well there to eke out that gap in front of McLaren, but we need to catch up to them so we can get some good results in here. We also have a minor engine development that says fail, but we're going to redevelop that one for the next race. Let's get into qualifying here on Saturday and see how we do.
It's time once again then for qualifying here at Silverstone on what we're hoping will be a tight contest for pole position.
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that, and even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
Coming into Q1, we're going to wait it out just to the end of the session because the car has the pace to get through on one run. Even though I make a mistake, it has the pace to get through to Q2, which is the important part right here. We're on the soft tires because that's the softest compound of tire for this weekend. I wish it would be softer tires. Of course, the tire is very, very high on this track, so it needs to be that kind of stuff. But I wish it could be softer tires so we could have more grip through the corners. That would be funny enough. But first and final run in Q1 was okay. It was a pretty good one. I could have pushed more if I wanted to, but it is still third, so the car's shown some pretty good pace, at least in my opinion, over the course of the weekend. It's third place through Q1. There's still Q2 and Q3 remaining. Sergio Perez was in 10th, and we have our fellow Dane as well eliminated, and then you have 4 more people I don't want to talk about. Coming into Q2, we're going to just... we're going to start to see if we can make it through on the medium tire compound. You can see we run wide, extremely wide through there, but we're going to see if we can make it through on the medium tire compound. This lap was kind of bad. You can see there is 13th, so it's not even enough to get through on that lap right there, on the medium tires right there. So too slow on the medium tires. We go out for another run because we have time for that. This time around on the super soft tires, and I believe we have enough pace for this one, at least. We didn't have the pace on the medium tires, but it looks like we have the pace on the soft tires, and yes, we do. We actually go faster through Q2 in the Force India car right here. Pink car, very, very nice there. You can see we go faster. Sergio Perez down in 8th place, so he's not managing to get the real pace out of that car. Hopefully he can do that in Q3, where we go out for our first run, which is also going to be the final run, because I just wanted to run one run, because I feel like I've had some good pace, and the car's had some good pace. So coming over the line, through the last corner we go. Q3, it's going to be fastest lap of the session, and pole position here at Silverstone. So a great kind of thing coming into the first corner. We're going to be under risk of overtaking of Stoffel Van Dorn, and Sergio Perez actually managing to get the car's pace, the pace out of the car, qualifying in 3rd place in front of Fernando Alonso and the 2 Red Bulls right there. So it's going to be Force India, McLaren, and then the 2 Red Bulls rounding off the top 6 right there. I think we're all going to be starting on the soft tires. I don't know. I don't know if one got through to the medium tires, but we'll see. As we're about to get into Sunday for the race, let's see how we do as we're about to get in for the British Grand Prix.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, along with 2 DRS zones on the Wellington and Hanger Straights respectively. But the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Wang lines up on pole position, and it's Stoffel van Dorn in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Alonso, Max Verstappen, and Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Raikkonen, and Sebastian Vettel. Leclerc, Sainz, Marcus Ericsson, and Bottas, Magnussen, Sirotkin, Brendan Hartley, and Lewis Hamilton. Gasly and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright, so you can see there's 3 people who've taken grid penalties, including the home hero of Lewis Hamilton. He's going to be starting down in 18th place, so at least he won't be a threat to us. Coming onto the grid for 5 red lights here for the Silverstone Grand Prix. It's pole position. Let's see how we do it. It's lights out and we're underway for 26 laps there. We move over to cover up Stoffel van Dorn right on the exit. He gets a great start right there. Sergio Perez going around the outside right there. It looks like there's a crash. Daniel Ricciardo is out of the race through the first corner. The championship leader is out of the race through the first corner. Sergio Perez is going to try to make the move down the inside. He doesn't get it. Well, at least we get it back from him right there. But it looked like Daniel Ricciardo there had a retirement. Let's take a look at the replay. You can see just Stoffel van Dorn there on the inside, who we got over to squeeze. Just parked his car on the inside right there. And Daniel Ricciardo just smashed straight into the back of him. So not a great race for him. He, of course, he's the championship leader by quite a margin. But it will allow us to catch up massively through the in the championship standings, as well as Alonso, who's in 3rd place here. But now we're still on lap 1. Sergio Perez trying to make the move around the outside of Luffield, or whatever it's called. He's not going to get it. We're going to squeeze him tight to the outside there, which turns into inside. So if he'd had that one, we were going to be done. But it's a nice and clean start, nice and clean lap 1 from our side at least. We get fastest lap, of course, because we're the first car to go over the line. But here we are trying to keep up the pace from our teammate right behind, who's actually getting overtaken right there by Fernando Alonso, who somehow managed to overtake him before. But now Alonso's going to come back, which all of this battling between these 2 guys will just allow us to get out, increase the lead, get a kind of gap down to 2nd place. Who's actually Alonso right now. He goes faster than us quite a lot, and I was kind of like, alright, if he goes faster than us, he may overtake us very, very, very soon. But here we are on board with him. You can see he gets very, very close actually right there. Touches us a little bit. He's staying closely behind, so maybe he'll be able to get a move into some corner at some point. Here we have lap number 3. We have a virtual safety car out on track right now. For absolutely nothing. Weirdly enough, we had no safety car for Daniel Ricciardo's crash into lap 1, but we have a virtual safety car for absolutely nothing right here. So if Sergio Perez gets a good run on Fernando Alonso, he might be able to jump in and we'll be able to get even more of a lead. But of course, we also have to think about our own safety car restart first. It's actually through turn 1 and turn 2 place that the safety car goes right there, and you can actually see Alonso getting very, very close there, but we just managed to fend him off. You can see here he is. There's no one going for an overtake at the moment because there's just too much distance between us. There's all that dirt here and stuff like that. But here we are, lap number 5. We're going to wait until our pit stop. We're going to come into the pits on lap number 11 at the moment. I think actually Jeff at this moment has asked us about if we wanted to come in on lap number 8 instead, because that would be kind of better. But here we are, a nice helicopter view going through the long right-hander right here. We get very, very loose under acceleration, get onto the grass right there, and Alonso's got straight into us there. And there's actually a crash between double Force India and double McLaren right there. You can see on board from me, I just got very, very loose, got onto the gravel right there, managed to save it, but Alonso's actually out of the race. No way. So we have both our championship rivals out of the race, both Fernando Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo. You can see on board from him there. It's a retirement from him as well. So not a too good one. I think pretty much everyone from the Force India or McLaren team got some damage, because Sergio Perez there on board with him. He just throws it into the gravel after he just touched the back of Fernando Alonso. Stoffel van Dorn right there. He actually got through pretty okay. Nothing. He lost a bit of front wing there and touching us, but we didn't lose any front wing. Somehow weirdly we touched the wall, but we didn't lose any front wing. So it's an insane crash here in lap number 6, and that means that both our championship rivals are out. So we'll be able to manage. We can catch up 25 points to both of them. As you know, we're second. I don't remember if we're second or third at the moment in the championship. You can see Van Dorn going very, very slowly right here. But that's because he has a bit of front wing damage. We're gonna cruise past him with the what is it called? Yeah, with the DRS. You can see he's actually kind of making up a field, a very, very abstract and nice view on board with his car. He's actually making up quite a kind of like a queue behind him, waiting to overtake him because of course he has front wing damage. But these are kind of stupid. Looks like Hulkenberg is going to go for the move on him coming down into here. But Stoffel Van Dorn weirdly is not pitting it. It might just be some kind of yellow damage to his front wing or something. Not too bad might it be. Here's our first warning for exceeding the track limits of the day. I have actually had a couple of those through cops over the course of the weekend, so maybe we'll have to be careful right there. Lap number 8, that means we're gonna come into the pits for what is the medium tires, if I'm right. Of course, we did qualifying, we did Q3 on this tire compound, or we did Q2 on this tire compound, that's right, and we did the first 8 laps of the race. Nico Hulkenberg is going to be staying out. He looks like the main rival in this race, because of course you have Stoffel Van Dorn, who's also going into the pits, but he is going to be, he's going to have a long pit stop. Of course, he has front wing damage. Here we are coming out of the pits. We're going to see where we're going to rejoin on the track. Of course, Nico Hulkenberg has clean air now, so it's time for him to push right now if he wants to undercut. He had a pretty big gap right there, so it has to be an insane strategy failure from our side if he's going to win this one somehow. But Nico Hulkenberg in the lead at the moment. Clean air for him. We also have kind of clean air. Ericsson is in front of us, but he's quite a long way in front of us there. We may be able to catch him, actually. You can see here, we actually catch him insanely much over the next couple of laps, because of course we have newer tires. He's still on the soft tire compound right there. Sergio Perez is actually pitted in after that crash right there. He's on the hard tire, so he's going to the end of the race as well. We get the DRS, we don't get the DRS. We get the run on Marcus Ericsson right here, going down the inside. Our fellow Sweet is squeezing us tight into the inside, closing off the gap right there. We make a bit of contact with him. Stoffel Van Dorn, who seemed to be our rival, but he is coming into the pits for a front wing change as well. So there's going to be a long pit stop from him. Maybe he's going to held up in the pits as well. So I think he's out of contention for the time right here. A fellow Swede trying to make a dive down the inside of him as well. So he's actually going to hold us up as Nico Hulkenberg comes into the pits right now. So now it's time for us to push. Now it's time for us to really push. Of course, we got past Marcus Ericsson. But the question is just, is that enough? But we have a virtual safety car right as Nico Hulkenberg is in the pits right as we're going past it, which means he'll get out in front of us, as well as Roman Grosjean, the French guy in the Haas right there. So that means that's a terrible strategy for us. The fun thing was that safety car was right whenever I came past the pit lane. It was right where the pit lane was whenever I came past the pit lane for the first time, and whenever the pit lane exit was, which means that they were gaining massively on that, as he's actually trying to go around the outside right there of us right there. He squeezes us time to the apex, and that will go wrong all the time. Luckily, no major incident. That one could have been a plain incident right there. He goes past us as well. We're trying to keep it around the outside here. And we do, but all of this battling is allowing Nico Hulkenberg out in the lead to just go away, just catch out. Ironically enough, actually, Roman Grosjean is going to have a retirement right here on lap number, I don't know, 15 or something like that. And there's a lot of smoke coming out of his engine right there, so not too good. Second warning of the day, which means next time we'll go over the track limits. We will get a penalty, but we are cruising around. We're actually setting pretty good lap times. We're catching into Nico Hulkenberg pretty rapidly at the moment. Here he is in the lead. You can see we did fastest lap there right before. But I feel like this was great. Okay, I was pushing the shit out of these tires. Not like destroying them too much, but you can see another fastest lap of the race at 128.1. I knew I could go faster because you can see Max Verstappen is going faster. So Max Verstappen behind us, catching up to us, and we're behind Hulkenberg, who we are catching up to. So maybe it might be a 3-way battle just at the end, but eventually it won't. As last lap of the race, lap number 26, Nico Hulkenberg is your race winner for the first time in his career. We claim up second place to catch up 18 points to Daniel Ricciardo, and here he is, Nico Hulkenberg, putting his first victory in Formula 1 home in that Renault. So awesome drive from him right there, awesome drive for me as well. I thought it was a very, very good drive. Of course, I was a bit pissed off because I thought I could catch Nico Hulkenberg. The car's around the same pace as us, but I hoped that I could catch up to him because I felt like I had this one, but the last couple of laps was just too hard to catch him up. He increased his pace as well, so we were lapping at the same pace through the last lap of the race. But a podium for us, it's very, very nice. But as I said a couple of times now, we managed to catch up a huge amount to our boy Daniel Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso. Here's the official race results. You can see Nico Hulkenberg, the race winner. me and Verstappen joins him on the podium, and then there's a double fin in 4 and 5. Our teammate Sergio Perez actually finished right outside of the points, down in 11th place, so not too good for him, of course. He had the crash and lost some front wing on lap number 6. He was actually down to last place, but he managed to get it up to 11th place, which was very, very awesome for him. In the driver's standing, we move up to 2nd place right there, only 20 points behind Dan Ricciardo, so that's less than a race win. We are close to Dan Ricciardo. Sergio Perez is in 7th place, so he's actually not performing the best as we do. In the constructors, we're 3rd place, and I think that's Sergio Perez. We're second, he's 7th. Sergio Perez really needs to get his shit done, but we're just going to take a short race analyzation of the first corner crash here on board with Stoffel Van Dorn on his start. He got a great race start. You can see we kind of move over to cover him up right there. And I don't know, through turn 1, he just parks his car on the inside right there, which is, of course, very, very, very dangerous. But let's get into the questions and round off the episode right after that. I'm just gonna, as always, kind of let the questions scroll over. We had 4 questions this time, so it was quite a lot of things. In the rivalries, of course, one of them was out of the points, one of them retired, so we gained a lot of things on these two guys. You can actually see 5 out of 5 on both of the sides. We get a couple of resource points, which is of course nice. But we're going to round off this episode of F1 2018 game. But I hope you enjoy. Remember to like and subscribe and all that shit, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.